but I'm not going to turn on my camera because I certainly don't look as good as you do, Mr. Jorgensen.
All right, you never do, buddy. You never do.
That's true. That's why I've been using deep fake technology to look as handsome as I do. It's people don't see me in person very often.
Special appearance.
Yeah. You always, yeah, I love it. I think your photos are deep fake from like the it's like somebody took like a 1970s picture from like a rock star.
Oh,
Yeah.
you need to get rid of
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Do you even really exist, Diggles? I'm not sure.
Tyler Durden.
Yeah. Yeah. I think today was like the first day that I felt like the holidays are here. You know, it's kind of like it was like cold and
man. You've been out and about.
You know, it's yeah, I haven't been home in a while.
December 1st hits the calendar.
I think I have a fear of being alone. The real talk.
I was a betting man.
So it doesn't help that we don't have our cameras on, huh?
No, it doesn't. You know, it's funny. It's like, you know, I'm feeling kind of alone. Let's do a hypergraph hour, you know? So
hey guys, it's me.
Well, I don't know. We'll let this roll for a little bit.
We're having like record-breaking weather in Denver, Colorado here.
Really?
Yeah, we're about to beat the record for the longest span in snowfall. Last time it was recorded was like 1877, something like 235 days of no snowfall, and we're about to beat it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
so
2 degrees outside, and it's December 1st, and it's Denver, Colorado.
So climate change was like a real thing back in 1877.
yeah, history's repeating itself.
Classic.
The simulation is stuck.
Man.
What's the weather like where you're at right now?
It's like 40 degrees at night, and then it's like during the day it's like 65, 70. It's awesome.
Nice.
I got like my punching bag all set up, you know.
I was gonna say, it doesn't really matter what the weather is if you're on meetings all day.
Actually, that was literally yesterday. I was like, I think I got 5 steps in. It's healthy.
That's why you have to pace while you're on calls, right?
Yeah, I need to start getting to that point, like being like the power moves and then putting the camera on, and I don't know. Yeah. What was like a normal turnout for Hypergraph months ago? I forget.
It varies. I think we're around that, like normal. We had a bit of a boost a couple times, but I think we're sitting right at a good spot.
Okay.
Probably some more trickling in.
We'll wait a few more minutes, and yeah. You know, the leaf blowers are blowing. You know, it's fall. It's good. I feel like I'm getting to be an old man. I've been like saying these like really old man comments, like, you know. No. I'm trying to give an example, like, you know, the leaves are falling. It's fall.
Well, considering how much you know about like Roy Orbison and Hoosiers, it's maybe you are an old man trapped in the body.
Yeah. I think that's totally it. This is my house, everybody. Still not back in the office, so welcome.
Very nice.
I love like you say something and then a few people drop off. Whatever. Yeah, it's like, you don't like my house, you could have just said
wow.
I think you're good to get started.
All right. Well, welcome to today's Hypergraph Hour. It's been a long time since we've all talked. Ben Jorgensen, I will be the only one talking today. But I thought it would be good to use this time to just like connect with the community again. And of course, I always have like a little secret at the end, but you all have to put up with it for a little bit. Hear me talk for a little bit. But this has been an amazing year. And while this isn't like a formal like State of the Union, Hypergraph Hour, I kind of just wanted to bring a lot of things to everybody's attention because so much product has been deployed and so many people have come into our ecosystem. There's been, I think this last year was one of the most foundational shifts that we've ever experienced. And we've experienced a lot of shifts at Constellation. And it's exciting because we're starting to see all the different use cases that are coming into the space. We're seeing crypto evolved, and it's a pretty fantastic time to get involved. So I put this slide together. I put this slide deck together as ways of showing some of the things that we're doing behind the scenes and massive shifts that are going on. And hopefully it gives people kind of a unification of Constellation and Lattice Exchange. There's a lot of different properties or entities that we haven't really talked about that you're going to start to see come into the fold. But I wanted to take a moment to just kind of do a level set. This past year, if we reflect, we've seen mainstream adoption of crypto. And it's funny, I've sat on so many calls over the last couple of weeks with, venture capital groups and a lot of people coming into the space that are now crypto experts again. And it's funny to hear because I remember in 2018 or 2017 when you had all these crypto experts, and then 2018 you had everybody denied any association with crypto. They went into hiding. Some people changed their names. It was a really interesting time. And then 2019, we were sure that applications were going to be the next big thing, and we kind of saw that fizzle out. And then 2020 became the year of DeFi. And really, I think 2021 was the year of DeFi and getting started. There's so much happening. Governments are seeing this as a legitimate ecosystem. Financial institutions are coming in left and right. Businesses are recognizing the value of crypto. We're seeing this through the Coinbase IPO, which gives public validation, Robinhood IPO, which has really built themselves around crypto, and we're seeing government treasuries buy massive amounts of crypto. But on the other end of the spectrum, okay, that's great from a currency perspective, but who's building out the next iteration of applications? Well, on average, crypto economies and businesses are seeing 100% month-over-month growth in developers. Like this is an amazing time. And I know we talked about this a few Hypergraph hours ago, but I mean, we're seeing this at Constellation. Like we can't hire fast enough, and talent is becoming so scarce for people that not only understand the technology and how to build smart contracts, but how to productize that. How do you make that available for retail, crypto retail? And it's becoming a real challenge, which is amazing because it's only going to attract more and more money into the space because this is where people want to go. This is the excitement. And decentralized finance is evolving both intellectually and from a product level that, I mean, even in one lens, you could look at Constellation with soft nodes as being, re-articulating Constellation in the lens of DeFi and that kind of why to get involved. You're getting rewards for participating in our ecosystem. And so what we're really seeing right now is the ecosystem play is really developing. You've got Polkadot, Solana, Ethereum, you've got Terra Luna, you've got a lot of these different ecosystems that are starting to emerge. And in our opinion at Constellation, and a lot of the people that back us believe that there's not one ecosystem that will win all, but more about whether one ecosystem will attract differentiated use cases. And so, taking a reflection on what we've seen, from Bitcoin being a store of value to generation 2 with Ethereum and kind of a store of value with limited application. And now we're starting to see limited liquidity because of high gas fees. All of these kind of issues work for these given generations, and they work really well, which is why there's not a whole lot of competitors because there's not a lot of use cases beyond what they've already expanded. And so what we're seeing in like generation 3, and this is where really Constellation is developing our messaging, our branding even further, is kind of this educational layer. Generation 3 blockchain protocols are truly creating the ecosystem play, a connected ecosystem that are easy to navigate, or at least easier to navigate than Ethereum. And I think this is a really profound thing, because we're not going to see this go away, and we're not going to see clear winners. We're going to see communities that thrive, like fans in football. You've got the coach, you've got the team, you've got the marketing, you've got the gear, the swag, you've got the camaraderie from fans. Each thing is happening within each ecosystem. And like football teams, they're all required to play together. You know, we could call it, you can go down to technology terms, but I like to remind people that, you know, Constellation's right in that fold, where you're like right where the bud is happening, the bud of like flourishing and flowering from that bud. It's pretty fantastic. And so what we are building is something that evolves Generation 2. It doesn't necessarily replace Generation 2, but evolves it to really navigate more use cases. And if you were to go out there and, you know, one of the things I want everybody to take away from this Hypergraph hour is like, how do I explain DAG? How do I explain Constellation? And it's like something I was sitting over Thanksgiving break, and I just thought like, God, it's so hard. It's getting harder to tell my friends and family what the heck we do. And, you know, from a technology point, you can really dig into the nuances of the technology, but isn't the technology only as good as what you attract into the ecosystem? And so that kind of aha moment was, you know, I was sitting on a podcast yesterday that will be released next week on Around the Coin. And it really kind of, we can simplify the technology in that we're faster, cheaper, and scalable in the sense of being able to compete with centralized computing processing standards, right? Which is what we're doing, validated by our work with the DoD and our ongoing intense work to build out the prototype from the SBR phase 2. But really what we're doing is starting to open up more use cases. And we do this because it's faster, cheaper, and scalable to centralized computing, right? It's cheaper that, you know, we're starting to open up the veins that all these businesses that have looked at crypto in the past and said, we can't financially make this make sense, and it's too difficult, that our L0 token having zero transaction fees really opens up the gamut to any business that makes up the $88 trillion GNP to come into our ecosystem, mint a token, and be able to generate their own microeconomy and generate cash flow from those assets under management. And what this actually means is that by really opening this up to the GNP, you're really inviting multiple massive industry disruptions. I should have said multiple massive industry disruptions. And we're seeing that with Alchemy, with advertising, GeoJam, with social networking, and we're at like a prime time to disrupt these things. Advertising sucks. People are over social networking. Probably shouldn't be saying that on this. I'm sure I'm going to get a phone call. But you know, when you look at it, it's like, well, where's the disruption happening? Is it happening in the technology, or is it happening in the ability to other businesses and use cases to understand and be educated, and then use cryptocurrency as a way to expand their capital infrastructure, expand their operations? And that's really what we've been focusing on. And we've been diligently focusing on massive industry disruptions. You could even say what we're doing with the DoD is a massive industry disruption on how data moves across secured and unsecured networks. But so are all the use cases that we invite. And so every project that's coming into our fold is looking at, you know, hey, yes, can we use this architecture that has an alternative microservice framework, which is what, you know, centralized applications are, you know, the binding glue around. But can we, can we tokenize a portion of this, and then how do we navigate that? So I threw in like Lattice Exchange to the right, or on, to the right of Constellation, because this is where we're going to invite retail adoption. And so when you look at massive industry adoption or disruption, it's not just about the technology, but it's about the communities that make up those industries. It's about the consumers that make those up. And those consumers are ready to adopt crypto. And so I like to go back to that example of everybody being experts in crypto to nobody being experts to now everybody's involved. They're deeply involved, and there's ways to do things with your currency that that we as crypto, you, the community, us, that we understand are alternative ways to use these currencies besides just hold and sell. There's ways to get involved. We're seeing product iteration happen faster and faster across all ecosystems, and Constellation's right there. And so the Lattice Exchange kind of bringing this back into the fold, and I really want to push this and ask you of the community, ask the community to start looking at Lattice Exchange as kind of the gateway for mass adoption and retail adoption. We're trying to use this as the platform for people to not just have to enter into Constellation and hear about the nuance of the technology. I think we all know, where that's going and what that does. Everybody's become data scientists in our community, but looking at Lattice as the lens of how we invite retail adoption. And so if you look at the soft node launch that we've done with DAG, an incredible success, and we'll kind of go over some of that. It's showing people, hey, you can stake your DAG, your 250,000 DAG, and start earning rewards, much like some of these DeFi platforms. Our Launchpad is giving access to people to get into early stage projects, right? Staking programs are ways for people to lock up tokens they bought, do something with it, where the technology or platform's not quite ready, or the project's looking to make a marketing splash. And soon to come, Lattice is going to be the host, we'll be introducing hardware and data mining, which is something I'll kind of allude to later. But all of these things, down to cross-chain swapping, making it super cheap. We have stealth projects underway at Constellation, are ways to get people educated on how easy it is to work with crypto and how to get involved. And that's a lot of the message that we're going to be really focusing on over the next year, is that adoption. I think a lot of the other ecosystems are doing well. And so we threw, the team threw this slide together as a way to kind of celebrate a lot of the wins that we've had. We've seen exponential growth across the Constellation Twitter handles over the past couple months. We've seen a massive amount of support from the Spanish community. 2022 is going to be a year that we just nail. We go after Latin America, we go after Spanish-speaking countries, which we believe, along with some of the other centralized exchanges, have been largely ignored. And there's a huge opportunity to appeal to those audiences. And the Spanish-speaking country, kind of on a reflection, we've been able to see that they've actually introduced us more to doing Instagram marketing and doing more in YouTube marketing. Those are the channels that appeal to those audiences. And as such, we've kind of really doubled down on bringing in alternative networks and media platforms into our ecosystem. And I think this investment has really been paying off for the company, as we've seen a lot more new people come involved, and we've seen a lot of growth in each of our products. And so the products that we've been deploying have really been ways for us to test out our community sentiment, which is extremely strong right now. It's so incredible to see. But we're still on the small side. And I think that's exciting. I think a lot of people got blown away by our market cap and was like, oh, whoa. But when you look at the actual numbers, we're still kind of a hidden gem in the whole space. But yet we're doing similar things to the other ecosystems, we're all creating these simultaneous playbooks to really capture audience attention and companies to come in and build on us. All the ecosystems are doing that with their own niche and their own expression of why to come into their platform. I mean, Lattice holders at 12,000, we've got 19,000 DAG holders. Like, we're still kind of at our infant stage and just at the beginning. Like everybody is still early on into this whole story. For many reasons, just looking at these numbers. I mean, Lattice, the platform, I'm pretty excited about this. We only have 7,000 users, and yet those 7,000 users are staking 892 million DAG from November on the staking program. We just launched soft nodes part 2 today to restake, and we've already done about 500 million DAG in a few hours. This is like astronomical. Our soft nodes, we have about 3,570 soft nodes that were staked in November. What this tells us, it tells us the potential for our scalable network. I mean, you can create a scalable network, but if you don't have people to scale it, then it's kind of worthless. Like, this is the appetite and the sentiment that you all have created and have really inspired us as a company to build and introduce new products that, you know, we were excited to see, but we didn't know how they would work. Just to be completely honest, we didn't know what kind of demand there would be. We have a clear vision on the business and the roadmap, but when you see adoption in this capacity, this is the strength of our network. I mean, we literally are Spartans when you look at the number of DAG holders to the amount of value that people participate. 36% of circulating supply got staked in a few days last month. Like, this is incredible. And there are so many people. I would say there was like another, 500 million in people that missed being able to get involved in the soft nodes. And so this is really exciting. And a lot of these people that are getting involved, that are using this as a mechanism to reach out to me and reach out to this company to say, hey, how else can I get involved to ensure that I get an actual node when the network goes live? What can I do to help really build more value? And so I just want to give everybody a thanks. Like, we've done an amazing job of spreading the message. Our admins have been killing it across the board. And like, some amazing people have come out of this. There are stealth groups. There's a clear organization to the marketing infrastructure of this company, which is going to be further explained. People that have gotten involved in Skylabs have acted like our army that really goes out there and helps spread the message, put out FUD, and explain things from a friendly user message. And so I kind of wrote this slide here today as a way to just like align everybody. You know, the crypto era is moving and changing so quickly. The amount of research that I'm doing and bringing into my mind to expand our ecosystem and create nuanced products is faster than it's ever been. And there's some amazing things out there, which it's really exciting to see financial instruments being built in the DeFi space and people testing and trying new things and experimenting with it. And this isn't just like, hey, I made some money, let's run. It's like, hey, I made some money, let's have some fun. And that's kind of one of the themes that I've seen in this space, that people aren't exhausted like they were in the past. They're actually having fun. And so really, as I mentioned earlier, Constellation Lattice's mission is to expand the use cases for companies, to those companies that make up that gross national product. We want to appeal from a technological perspective, a community perspective, a marketing perspective, and how money moves perspective to all companies in the gross national product. I mean, think about that. If we were able to take 10% of the gross national product, or $8 trillion in total, and create crypto economies, that's very doable for what we're trying to achieve, because of the socioeconomic implications, because of the technological implications. And so our mission, and one of the things we haven't done a good job of explaining, is how do you navigate Constellation? How do you navigate our communities? And I'm going to do a little bit of work here to explain it later on, after I kind of highlight a few projects that have built on us and are looking at the world differently, entrepreneurs that are looking at the world differently, and why it attracts us in the company. What we could do a better job of is really tell you the story of how how people come into our ecosystem. And so over the next year, and even the next couple of months, you're going to start to see new messaging come out that really unifies our entire ecosystem. If you remember from over a year ago, we had Lattice Exchange and Constellation, and people couldn't differentiate. They're like, what are you paying attention to more? And now everybody sees it as one ecosystem. But that time for people to understand and for it to click took like a year. And now it's going to take another evolution for people to see that this is all one big platform that helps companies, any company, navigate the nuances of the crypto economy. But also, we're in the process of creating trust and usability for crypto holders. And all those two messages combined is what really differentiates Constellation beyond the technical nuances. And with these two ingredients, I truly think that we'll create exponential adoption in the entire industry. And so then it becomes about highlighting use cases where we're making massive industry disruption. You have Alchemy Exchange. These guys have been doing an incredible job of building out their platform. They're really pushing the entire industry. And this was our vision, is find entrepreneurs, help them navigate crypto, build their own currency, and bring innovation through their use case in a way that hasn't been done. And I love that about our ecosystem. This isn't a copy paste of other ecosystems out there. It's truly innovative. I think we're still one of the most innovative ecosystems out there. We are still a very small ecosystem, and yet I think we are taking the boldest steps that any other ecosystem is making, regardless of market size. And Alchemy, I just want to give some highlights of what they've done. When they were released on the launchpad, they did a 10x oversubscription. That's our community power. They're doing a staking program today. They launched on our staking program. They have about 13 million in ads tokens staked in just 2 days. They combined that with the use of NFT, which I thought was extremely innovative on providing a reward, not just in their currency, but also in some sort of digital image that has value and creating value in new ways. But then the third thing that I thought they really did that was so innovative was they developed a game application to get people involved. So you can actually take your NFT, and your NFT that you receive from the staking, you can actually render that in the game and become that figure in the game and earn points for navigating the game. And so now you're seeing a real evolution happen from simple DeFi mechanisms to blending of the NFT world to real world activities, while all the simultaneously disrupting a massive industry and making it fun. I mean, advertising I was in advertising. I hated it so much. I like quit and said, I'm going to go through the struggles of finding a different industry, and I'll just deal with it because it was so bad. And so seeing this evolution of making something fun, like using the gaming mechanics of crypto, the ethos of crypto, of having fun, earning rewards, bringing in all stakeholders, like these guys are truly pushing the needle. And GeoJam, which is another one of the companies we've been highlighting recently. These guys they're approaching social networking in a completely different manner. But really what I think is fascinating is this shift of the content creator economy. This idea that all of these influencers are generating so much money for centralized social media platforms and are really receiving very little. Like, they're the ones making these platforms. And so they already started by disrupting and saying, hey, how do we connect fans and artists and musicians and influencers all together and allow them to rethink their monetization structure. They did that last year, and they're already pushing the needle on how do you invite a cryptocurrency? But like Alchemy, these guys are going another step further. They're applying the mechanics of a decentralized autonomous organization, or a DAO, or decentralized governance, into an actual product that impacts real people. And they're also combining DeFi reward mechanisms. So what they're attempting to do with their pools is take DeFi and apply it to real world redemptions and experiences, while also binding to kind of the ethos of crypto. And I think these things are pretty powerful, because it's like, if you think about how we're moving the needle, you're not just using crypto as a payment mechanism or a store of value, but actually starting to shift everybody's thinking and how we innovate around a currency. And many of these both of these platforms alike are have to work on L0, the L0 token standard. And I also like to emphasize that. Why? Because there's zero transaction fees. GeoJam wouldn't be able to do their pools products. Alchemy wouldn't be able to create a multi-stakeholder digital real-time bidding ad exchange without these capabilities and the speed and finesse of our network. And so I like to sit here and, I'm actually GeoJam today, I forgot to announce, is their first community round will be on the Synapse Launchpad tomorrow, which we're very excited about. Then we'll be doing a Lattice Exchange AMA on December 6th, which we'll announce when we're doing the Lattice Launchpad. So tune into these guys. I've seen amazing entrepreneurial leadership from this team. I've seen them grow through all this. They're bringing on new experiences. Mariah Carey's one of their backers. It's the holiday season. It's prime time for Mariah Carey. So expect some noise from these guys. And last but not least, this last year, amongst the many things we did beyond going into the Spanish community and building out our team, we have added about 20 bodies to our team in the past couple months. It's been awesome building this company culture. I wake up every day, I'm excited. I work with people that are smarter than me and are amazing leaders and are excited for the futures to come. But bringing on Door Technologies, we didn't really highlight a lot of Door Technologies. We kind of wanted this to organically trickle through the community. And you're going to start to hear a lot more about Door. We've spent the last several months onboarding their team, getting them to understand crypto, build out robust customer service and customer support across Constellation, Door, and Lattice. We're getting better, we're getting faster at this so that we can provide infinite scalability to our ecosystem. But what I'm excited about Door, and this is kind of my secret of the day, I go back to our vision of making crypto very easy for people to navigate, making it easy for somebody that wants to go in, buy crypto and do something with it and get involved, make it super easy versus multiple swaps and bonding and staking. And, it becomes really tough to see how that's going to scale to a lot of people. And so with Door Technologies, they have existing hardware that we're going to be introducing to the community very, very soon, where we're going to bring crypto hardware mining technology to businesses and every crypto holder. And this is going to make it very easy for everyone to get involved. They're going to be able to understand the value of crypto while being able to earn crypto. And so without me saying too much, there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes to make this happen and get ready for what we think is going to be a very, very big year in the next year is going to be a very big year. I'm excited about this because I think this is going to invite something that I've kind of coined around the office of technological graffiti, and using hardware as an educational tool for more people to come in, educational and reward mechanism for more people to really get involved in the crypto industry. So it's just this is just a really fun time to be involved in, and what we've seen. What we've seen in our growth is just like, it's made me just so happy. We've had a lot of product releases that we haven't really been able to celebrate and truly define, which we're getting better at. And you're going to start to see the entire vision really come together in the next couple of months. And so with all this being said and how we look at companies, and you've heard a lot of, all of our products, I wanted to take a moment to just kind of show you what our process is and how to get involved. Here's my call to action for people. Everybody's wanting to know how they can get involved, how they can make an impact. And our goal, as I said, is to make it easy for everyone. Create a touch point for everyone, developer, crypto holder, a company that comes in, to make it easy, make it cheap, make it rewarding for all stakeholders to get to really flourish. And that's our goal and mission of our ecosystem. And I think we can do that. We've had a lot of success through our accelerated incubator. This typically, if you're a company, this is your first way of getting involved with Constellation. We've got our first flight program had about 35 different individuals and companies that came through the program. We had 85 apply. We currently have 225 that have applied for cohort 2. The accelerator and incubation is really a knowledge transfer of everything that we've done into making crypto communities, making these economies, and our vision around the token life cycle. So if you were looking for that knowledge transfer, I still can't find one ecosystem out there, and I've talked to so many people that are giving you the soup to nuts on what it takes to really operationalize and transform yourself into a crypto company. This is your best way as a company, or if you have an idea, to apply and get that known. We have a scoring mechanism and a decentralized governance body that goes in. We score it to see how relevant and how much entrepreneurial leadership is. And that's how you really get involved from that standpoint. Then if you transfer over and you graduate from the accelerator, or you've been incubated by us, those entrepreneurs that have put together funding, that have seen growth in their community, are then eligible to apply for the Lattice Launchpad. The Lattice Launchpad is also not beholden to just people in crypto or in Constellation's ecosystem, or that have gone through the accelerator. We really invite any project that's going on any Launchpad to come in, apply, and tap into our community. So in one way, this is a way for our community to get early access to projects that have gone through our tests. Once again, the Lattice Exchange has its own DAO. It has its own governing body that we go through, and we score each company that applies to make sure that we get the best quality project to our community. But naturally, our accelerator project, we're hoping that they take the knowledge that we transfer them, they apply it, they grow their business, they get listed on the Launchpad. And then kind of the next evolution that you're starting to see through the development of the staking pools is around mature companies like Alchemy or DAG, creating a staking program which improves wallet distribution, awareness of the product, and it gives back to people that are tried and true supporters. So as companies mature, once again, this isn't just open to Constellation's ecosystem. We're really kind of inviting everybody. We're going to be bringing more companies from other ecosystems into ours to start doing more staking programs, so that you can get involved and see what other projects that we think are valuable. And so you have this natural progression to where what we have coming soon, as we've all talked about, are cross-chain swaps. This is cross-chain between being agnostic between any other protocol, with near zero transaction fees, things that we're working on behind the scenes. We're creating that L0 token standard, so we have the first iteration of token swapping between ERC20 and Constellation. We have hardware mining and a deeper focus on DAOs. I'm not going to go into more details on that because there's a lot of stealth projects that are happening over at Constellation, but we have some incredible things that are really going to unify all the products that we're doing at Constellation. And these are some easy ways to get involved. So if you know companies that that could benefit from tapping into you all and be a part of the Constellation community, bring them in. Show them what kind of strength we have. If you're a company looking to learn about how to make your own cryptocurrency company, look through the process of building a company, raising money, launching it, and creating a healthy token, talk to us, get them to apply. So some fun things coming up this month and over the next couple months. You know, we don't really stop here. So it's been a big year. I will probably need to do a State of the Union that kind of formalizes everything, but I really thought it would be good to touch base with the community and tell you all what's been going on behind the scenes, the growth that we've had, the growth that the entire industry has had, and that we're following suit. And we're still a sleeping giant with so much growth to go. And it's great to see how many people are coming in to help kind of make that next major tranche happen. So that's all I got for you all. Can't thank you enough for doing Hypergraph Hour. This is fun. I missed this. You're going to start to hear more about Door Technologies coming soon and their role in all of this. And get involved. We've got a lot coming down the road. So thank you all.